So personally, I think yo-yoing's fun. It has its ups and downs, I guess. All right, so bad grown-worthy jokes aside, I've turned to yo-yoing as a way to deal with the burgeoning stresses of high school and as a walking stick to guide me forward along the way. I'm Andrew Liu, and this is my senior sage. So I like yo-yoing, that much should be obvious. I can put time and practice into it, and I get cool-looking tricks and satisfaction out of it. It really is the ultimate example of being able to put time and hard work into something and keep practicing until you overcome all of your failures. So with a little bit of persistence and determination, the whole outlook of your situation can change. So for example, if I'm feeling bad about something, then maybe I'll get into my own head and psych myself out and not be able to do it. But with a little bit of perseverance and determination, it really helps you to change your outlook to be able to pick up the pieces of everything that's gone wrong, even when it's turned out to be a complete mess, and try your best. So a little bit of a backstory. I started yo-yoing in about 7th grade because I thought it looked cool. That's pretty much about it. But how did such a simple toy become such an important part of my identity and something that helps me get through life? Well, let's just look at a trick, for example. For this trick, if everything goes right, then it's all smooth and fluid. But sometimes you miss an important part of the trick. So what do you do here? You could just end your trick, but lately I've been trying to make the best out of things, even if they don't go quite the way I expect it to. So even though it fails, there's something valuable to be gained in that you can figure out maybe what went wrong and how to do it better next time. But the most important thing is to not give up at the first signs of failure. And now that I've been yo-yoing for a bit, I have the experience to freestyle a little bit. But before, I always felt like banging my head into a brick wall. Like, how would I ever be able to hit this string in the middle of it? It just didn't make sense to me. But now that I've put the time and practice into working on the trick, I can see that the final result is a combination of everything that I've worked for. It's a combination of every time I got one small part of the trick right, every time I got maybe one angle right. And by picking up these pieces and combining them, even when I felt like I wanted to give up the most, that's when I finally got the trick to work, and it was the most satisfying experience I had working with that trick. And through yo-yoing, I learned that even though being negative all the time was something that's very easy to fall into, it's very easy to think, oh, the string's chafing my finger, I've hit my wrist like 100 times already, I just don't want to keep practicing this, that if you open your eyes to all the things that did go right, then you have an opportunity to make something great come out of it. So then, how does this end up relating to real life? Because it seems like yo-yoing is such a far-off thing from everyone else that maybe it doesn't relate to real life. Well, let's think about all the times that maybe you've just wanted to throw up your hands and just give up and just call it a day. Because what if I take a late day on my essay, or not do that lab report, not do my homework tonight? What if I forget to do my laundry or go to bed instead of studying? What if I do all of these things in one night? To me, it's these nights, the nights where it feels like everything's going wrong and everything's falling to pieces, where I might go insane and I wish I was a more proactive student, that I just end up gritting my teeth and getting over it. And these nights end up turning into some of my proudest moments once I look up, have a little bit of determination, and change my outlook on the situation. So to all my fellow seniors out there, I'm sure we remember the night right before regular decision apps were due, right? I think everyone was panicking and freaking out. Were all their supplementals ready? How well would colleges receive them? And the terrifying submitting button that was looming over our heads. Well, for me, I actually hadn't even finished my Common App essay yet that night. I was on the edge of tears, grasping at straws, thinking of something to write about. What could I possibly spin into 650 words about myself? Maybe some boring factoid, something about liking math, being gay, maybe a rehashed version of this speech from giving right now. No, that's not what happened, actually. I was panicking too much to think of any of those ideas. So instead, what I did was I took a moment, I stepped back, and I walked through one of my favorite yo-yo routines that I planned out with a friend several years in the past. It's a simple routine, and it's not very flashy, but it's fun to me nonetheless, and more importantly, it helped me deal with all the stresses of everything that I felt had gone wrong. So maybe a few sentences from my past essays that I didn't like actually were okay. Maybe I could combine them together into something that was better and something that actually meant a lot to me. Maybe an essay about doing math with my mom, an essay about yo-yoing, or an essay about just being able to go to school here at Shady Side and all the things that have gone right in my life. Well, I wrote a scene-by-scene recap of the last 2 hours I had panicking, of every thought that I had, everything that I had remembered, and everything that was important to me. And even though it wasn't as polished, not nearly as polished as my past essays, it felt like the most genuine piece of writing I had ever written, not because of just the circumstances of it being a college essay, but because being able to take a step back, detach myself from the situation, and then steel my resolve with a yo-yo trick that reminded me of something that was important to me, put me into a powerful mindset where I could be reflective and think slowly over everything that had happened. So after picking up all the pieces of my failed essays and choosing the best parts to show what a day in my life was like, I felt like that was the most genuine piece of writing I've written. So then, someday, somewhere, I hope that when you feel a wave of uncertainty and doubt and a hard situation washing over you, you have the opportunity to take a step back, to de-stress, unwind, and steel your resolve with something so that one day you'll see your outlook grow in front of your eyes. The world is filled with opportunities, and I know that everyone here is filled with the ability to do great things. So I hope you lift your head, be positive, and with a little bit of determination, you'll get to see how far you can actually go. Thank you.